What up, guys? It's your boy D. We back with another banger. I got my guy Austin in here, and we're gonna get straight into this cut. It's gonna be a mid-fade comb-over style. We are keeping the arch on the C cups, and so I'm gonna get straight into that. So I start with my 2-guard, and we're just going to debulk all the way around his scalp, just to get that hair down to the length that we want. And then we will start going into the next portion. As you can see, I'm going to continue to comb his hair to the right because as we get into the fade, a lot of the hair, you start to see what's going which way and what's not. So you want to create your initial guideline now. As I always tell you guys, create that guideline and then start from there. So we're gonna bald that out by creating our first guideline. We're gonna bald out everything up under that guideline of what we have started with. And then we will go into our 2 1.5. And so I always tell you, start with the process, start with the blueprint, continue with it and work it the best way it works for you. And for me, I always just start with creating my guideline, getting the hair cleaned up underneath, creating that first initial point of emphasis to where you can work from and go into the care from there forward. So creating that guideline, we're gonna clean it up underneath, get all that bald, clean up all the hair underneath, create the bald line, and then we're gonna go into the fade and start fading. And so this video, it's a little bit one of my long videos too, but it's gonna be a good one. I think you guys will like this one and you'll get a lot of good knowledge. And for 2, it's a different hairstyle. And that's what I'm most excited about when I was actually thinking of getting this content on this type of hairstyle, because I haven't done this style in a long time as far as video content. So this is something that I really enjoy doing. I enjoy the comb over fades, and they're pretty dope. And they're very stylish for the guys who rock this type of look. And so we've created that guideline. Now we're balding it out with my Babulous FX trimmers. We're gonna get it cleaned up, and then I'll go back with my Red Pearl lithium shavers. And so I do it first with the trimmers because that gets all the hairs up out of the way, and even the ones that you may miss with the shavers. But then you'll come back with the shavers, and then you'll clean that up some more. So it really just makes it a clear, bald, skin fade underneath down to the skin. That way you don't see no stubble, no nothing. You want to get all that up under there. Our shit kind of like a drop fade, so it gives that drop appeal right above his ear. Not too high, but right above it. That helps create that mid drop fade look that we're going for. And so now we're gonna get really into this cut using my Babulous Low Fix. We're gonna create our first guideline open. Trimmer open, no guard on this trimmer. I'm sorry, I said trimmer, y'all. On my clipper, no guard on my clipper. Creating that first initial guideline. We're gonna come back with our half now, and we're gonna just, everything we did with the 2, we're gonna debulk. You'll see the fade start to transition from light to dark and dark to light. So using that 1.5, we're gonna create that, clean that up, and you'll see me jump back to that 2, embus cut 2, just to make sure I cleaned everything else up above. But we're gonna go with that 1.5 open. Make sure we're, combing after the clipper. So I'm here with my 2 again. I'm just making sure that I got all that weight up out there at the top, okay? So that's what I'm doing here now, combing, getting all that darkness up out of there. I'm gonna jump from this 2 now, and I'm gonna go back into my half, my 1.5. And so using that 1.5, it's gonna create the light in the fade. We're gonna get all the darkness right above in that area. It's kind of like that parietal of their head, because it's a drop fade. So that's what you're looking for right there. Doing that straight look, that's what you're seeing. So once you go from your 1.5, you're gonna go into your 1. And so I'm gonna work my way with my 1.5 from open, midway to close. And that's what we're doing, just kind of fading and cleaning it up. So that way it all blends together. So as you go through your steps of fading, this will kind of help you transition to the next step. And that's kind of how you just continue to go. Using my 1 now, we're gonna fade up into what we just faded into with the 1.5 to create more of a transitional blend. You want that blend to transition, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna use the tip of that blade too. You don't always wanna use the full blade on the whole haircut. You just kinda wanna blend as it goes by. So I'm using the tip of that blade just to make everything blend. That's the key part of this, man. I think a lot of people just overthink hair cutting, making it bigger than what it has to be. And a lot of times it's really just repetition. So using the tip of that blade, I'm gonna continue to blend this fade all the way in. And that's the key part. You want it to blend, you want it to look the part so that everything comes together. That's a key portion of when you're cutting hair and when you're fading. You're trying to make an initial look. That's what you want, is the look that they're aiming for, the desired look. So blending is key part, taking your time is key part. That makes it, and me and Austin, we just chopping it up, having a good time in between while I'm cutting his hair. It makes it even better, because you're a good client who really rocks with you. So for me, I got to do everything in my power to make his hair look good. And it's crazy how Austin came on to me from a client. So I make sure I give him the best haircut every time he sits in my chair. So we're using that 1.5, guys. I'm at a midway point now, so I'm just kind of detailing up in between, going into that 1 now. I'm gonna work that 1 into that fade and that darkness right there where this C cups is. Again, going into the parietal ridge, we're gonna just blend that out. Going open with the tip of our blade, and we're gonna go halfway with the tip of our blade. So you see I'm working my way around the crown of his head to get to the haircut desired look that we're aiming for, which is that mid comb over fade, keeping everything in, and it's all cue with 1. That's the key part. So we're fading, blending, getting everything point to the emphasis. I'm using the tip of my blade right there, turning the blade diagonally so that everything blends. It helps create a good, clean haircut, especially with this style of hair. He has really dark hair. It's not kind of thick, so you got to really detail it out. So now I'm working my way into my half guard, my 0.5 guard, and then I'm gonna just blend underneath that guideline of where I was with my 1 and my 1.5. So we're keeping everything up under that, but we're using it to detail to get all those dark lines out of there, those dark weight lines. That's what you don't want. And so through the fade, as you guys see it transition, it starts to blend and it starts to come together. That's the key part. And so now you have to really focus in on your detailing. Detailing is the key part of this haircut, because if you do not detail, you can tell that a haircut was not very much detailed, and that is not what you want. So using my 1.5 now, I'm just cleaning up everything up under there, okay? Making sure that it's clean, blended, light to dark, dark. Those are key portions of doing a haircut. A lot of people overlook it, but I think that makes the most, and then your client really appreciates it. So when you do that, you don't have to really worry about any issues, and you guys see that fade is coming together. So now, using my 1, I'm still detailing up under the line. Now we're gonna go into our half guard again. I kind of stay in focus and work my way around throughout this haircut, because that's just how it works better for me. Not rushing the process, not skipping around throughout the haircut. That makes it for a better haircut. Essentially, it makes it look better too. And that's what you want. You want a clean cut haircut. And so now with clippers, I'm gonna give you guys a better view, but I'm gonna use my Wall Seniors because they're better at balding out. And so I use my Babyliss clippers to create the guideline, but I'm gonna use my Wall clippers to get the guideline out, that initial hard line. So now we've got all that blended. Now we're gonna blend it in from the bottom and blend up. And then from there, we're gonna continue the detail. So I'm gonna use the tip of my blade to kind of knock out lines. And it's kind of basically just inching it, working your way to blend the hairline and the haircut all into 1. You want everything to be perpendicular. You want it to be together. That's a key portion of doing your haircut when you're doing it, because it makes a huge difference. You want it to look good. And so I'm gonna use the tip of my blade, I'm gonna go open, I'm gonna go midway, and I'm gonna go close. And that kind of creates that blend that you're looking for. If you can get that blend that you're looking for, especially your client, it makes everything. But you guys kind of see where I'm that little dark weight because his hair is dark. That's what I'm doing now. So I'm using my 1.5, I'm gonna clean that up underneath, open, then midway and close. So now we're just really fine lining and detailing this fade, because when you look at it, his hair is so dark. If you don't detail it and really get everything into 1, transitioned into 1 fade, you're gonna be able to see the dark lines within the fade. And that's something that you really, so I'm cleaning that up, creating the line, steadily combing his hair, coming down in the fade, but combing his hair to the right, because it gets all the dirty hair and the dead hair up out of there. So now we're switching sides, and like I always tell you guys, what I tell you, when it's not broke, don't fix it. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. Say it with me, let's go. You know how I get done. So what I did on that other side, I'm gonna do the same thing, create my guideline, start with my 1 guideline, and then blend into the fade. So we're gonna jump back to this side, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more detailing within this fade, because like I said, Austin's hair is real dark, so we gotta clean it up. Using that 1 now, we're going up into it. We're gonna use the tip of that blade to blend out those little dark heavyweight lines, but we're just fading at the bottom, but near the back of his crown of his head. And so we're kind of cleaning that up, everything into 1, blended into 1. I'm gonna jump back to my Seniors, my Wall Seniors, and fade out that bottom line. But before I do that, I have to continue to detail and get out that, just right there at the crown of his head, that right behind his ear, it's a little dark weight line. If you see that, then you know what I'm talking about. And so we're gonna blend that out just a little bit more so that it's kind of not as heavy it is, just because of how dark his hair is. Like I said, key points of emphasis, creating those guidelines, blending that fade till it's really unblendable, you know what I'm saying? And blend it. You want it to just look real good. That's a key portion. Blending is key, transition of the fade from light to dark. And so as you see, I'm in my wall seniors now. I'm gonna clean that up and you're gonna watch that line slowly disappear. So we're gonna go open, midway, and close. And we're gonna blend that fade all the way out. They're kind of, you know, and these really zero to make a bit of a difference, to create that clean line that I'm looking for, that clean transition of the fade that I'm looking for. So you gotta pay attention, but I'm using the tip of that blade to make sure the blade is very, making emphasis on that so you guys understand that emphasizing on this blend is the key portion of what you're looking for. So as you can see, that fade has started to come together now. You don't see much weight in there. You don't see much darkness within that fade. That is the key to what you're looking for. And I cannot stress it enough. All right, so working our way into the next side of this haircut. And like I said earlier, what's not broke, don't fix it. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So I'm just gonna be simple and quickly go through this. As you guys know, we're gonna use our 2, then we're gonna go to our 1.5, and then we're gonna go to our 1, and then we're gonna go to our open, well, our half and then our open, I'm sorry. But look at the mirror, guys, real quick while this video is going, and see that fade. You see how in the mirror it just looks real clean. You don't see a whole lot of weight in there. So now we're just doing the same thing that we did to that side to the other side. Essentially, this is gonna make for the cut that you want, the look that you want, that your client is desiring. And that's the key part of cutting hair, is getting that clean cut look that they're looking for, creating the desired look that they're looking for, kind of making create a real clean look for them, but we're also paying attention to our transitions within our fade and our hair cutting style to our skill set. That makes a huge difference. And straight hair is just different from coarse hair. It's just, you know, it fades the same, but it's different. And so, especially with a darker, straight hair, it's a lot different. But in the central end of the scheme, it all blends the same. And so, we're working our way through this. But like I always tell, details matter. So cross your T's and dot your I's. We're gonna go to that two. We're gonna wait to our 1.5 now. And detailing is the key part, but I'm using that 1.5. I'm angling it based off his hair and the way the hair grows. You can see it comes down a little straight, but at an angle. So we're gonna angle into it. That way we'll make sure we're cutting it and it's getting lighter. As you can see, it's starting to transition, okay? That's what you continue to brush, continue to fade, then you work your way halfway. My lever's halfway right now. We're back to open, then we're gonna go back to halfway, and we're gonna go to close as we transition through the fade. So you'll see as it gets lighter and lighter, but you can see the dark to light contrast. That's what you want. That means the fade is coming together, the transition is working, everything has hit its peak point. That's kind of the key point. So we're using our 1 now, going up underneath that fade. We're gonna continue to blend. And blending is key, but you know, blending angles, work the clipper is the key part, because that's how you make the fade transition into what you're trying to get. You're trying to get this achieved desired look. So you gotta be aware of how you're cutting the hair so that you can get there. That is the key part. As long as you do that, you're gonna be all right. I think you'll never miss out. You'll never miss anything. So with that being said, you can actually, work your haircut to get the look that they want, but understand how you're going about it. So using our 1.5 still, we're using our 1.5. We're cleaning up under the fade. We're after every stroke of the clipper. So now I'm gonna work my way back to that parietal ridge of the head and that crown part and kind of just fade it out, We hit the key in what we're looking for, and as you see the fade coming together, that's kind of what you want. You want it to start to close, but you see what you need to work on so that you can get the fade a lot cleaner, and it's a lot, that'll continuously, again, create the desired look to want, and you got to satisfy clientele. I got years of experience doing this, like not 1 year, years, multiple years. So seen it in every stage. I've gotten better. I've progressed over the years, and I know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to cutting hair. And so now you see where that dark weight is and how it's fading up out of there. That's what you guys want, You want that look. You want that. It creates the guidelines you're looking for. It creates the initial look that you're looking for. And essentially the fade becomes one as you go through the kind of just know what your way through the haircut piece by piece. It's like putting together a Lego toy, hitting everything you're supposed to hit, every key point. It'll make it end up looking how it's supposed to end up looking as long as you follow the blueprint. And so that's what I do, is I follow the blueprint. And I've learned from so many different barbers, and I've taken everything that they've all told me and put it into my own repertoire of things that I can use. And so when I say that I've built myself into the barber that I want to be, because I understand how this game works. You can't be one-sided. You need to be versatile. And versatility will help you be able to get money in different ways with different hairstyles and different hair ethnicities. It keeps you from being able to, be stereotyped or be put into one. So when I look at my haircuts and how they're coming, you can see that everything starts to come together because of everything I've learned. I put every piece together, and I've built myself to be able to understand how to be the best barber that I can be, for not just for myself, but for my clients. And so looking at the back of that fade, you guys can see how everything's come together. So I'm using the tip of that blade. Let me remind you, it's open right now. So pay attention to the lever. I'm fading it out, all those heavy weight lines. And then the reason it's open is because you don't want it to take too much out. You want it to take the bare minimum, but you can still see the transition of the fade come together. That's what we're aiming for. So you can see all that weight line that was there before, it's now gone. It's transitioned into a clean fade. Little weight right there at the parietal ridge into the head, but I'm going to fade that out. Right now I'm just detailing, crossing my T's and dotting my I's. So real quick, as we get into this end of this video per se, I want you to remember, please subscribe, please like, please comment, subscribe. Anybody who's time to watch my videos, and if you're learning something, I love it, I'm trying to figure out open my repertoire of things and be, educational and help others and more than what I am, because that's my goal. And so as you see, I'm fading this out, detailing it now. You're gonna get to the end of this video, and you should have hopefully seen the transition come together from where we started to finish. And it creates that look my guy Austin's looking for. He loves his haircut, man. I cannot tell you enough that this man loves his haircut when he leaves. He is so happy and satisfied. And for me, that is the satisfaction that I need. I love to see others happy. I don't do this for me, but for others. Money is good, but it's not about money. I love cutting hair, it really makes other people. So we don't got much longer left. I'm gonna detail this fade, cross my T's and dot my I's. Just pay attention to the lever movement, guys. How I'm detailing the fade. I'm using the tip of my blade. I learned a quick tip for you. Tips of the teeth turned out to your torso. So if you're using a clipper or you're using a comb, when you turn that clipper out to your torso, which is the middle of your body frame, it'll help create another blend of the fade that you may not know you've been able to achieve. But for me, it was a big tip for me and a big lesson. And so that creates the looks that I'm looking for when I'm trying to blend this fade. I take my time detailing, and I just want my clip to be satisfied. So we're gonna get into the C-cups here, and after this, we're gonna show the end of the cut, and that's gonna be in the video. But like I told you guys with the C-cups, use the tip of the blade, kind of create the top of that guideline, and then finish with the bottom of the tip of the blade, okay? come up like a line and sit out. But you started using the tip, and as you can see, I'm barely touching him. I got a little touch on his face, and then I'm just following within the guideline, okay? Creating that initial line that I'm looking for. That's how you create that finished look, that created finished look. And there we go. That's the end of the video. That's this cut, mid comb over fade, C-cups, clean fade, skin fade. That's what we're looking for, man. You know, that's what we're looking for. More important, I got Austin's looking for. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let's go.